There's also, they have to break through
Check out the holiday competition.
the stranglehold of the markets that already exist. Like, there are some brilliant ideas out there, including using LED lights to
Grow vegetables?
to be able to broadcast your signal from your cell phone.
Okay. It would be like
But you know, the first thing you hear, the first thing you think about when you hear something like that, it's too easy. Too many people can do it. It won't have an overall company that can make a lot of money from it, like an electric company with its infrastructure or the cell tower structure. So you have to also break through that, getting the good ideas out there that compete with
the enterprise center is a great idea. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll wait to see.
You're going to have to make some mistakes.
Yeah, we're going to make some mistakes. Those are some good things to do.
I hate to rush you guys, but we only have like 10 minutes left, and we do have to get to this last part because what we're actually going to do is now we're going to come up with basically some final points, just kind of summarizing what we talked about tonight. And if we can hit on some major points of agreement, that's fine. I think there are some. And if we can perhaps highlight, it only has to be maybe 3 things, so maybe points of agreement, and then maybe even some areas where we had that was a sticking point in the group.
So what's the question?
Yeah, I thought we kind of covered those points in the last section.
Well, no, we can. It's just, this is basically what we're going to say to the entire group when we come back together. Everybody from each group says, our group talked about this. So it can be, it's going to be stuff that we've already talked about. But it's what stuff that we want to make sure that we address to the group that can be kind of our final wrap-up thoughts. Like I was going to say, you guys talked a lot about business, and obviously that would seem to be the kind of the driving force of this conversation. And the entrepreneurship point, which we were just on, I would say was an area where I saw the entire group. So I was going to suggest that maybe as our first point.
And the relationship between business and the education system.
The more sustainable economy into the future is reliant on the type of education that produces entrepreneurs, is the sustainable economy.
Yeah.
She summed it up in one little circle.
So that's what you said.
Yeah, but exactly.
Well, I think in practical terms, I think what it means is that our state needs to put some money where it's responsibility with respect to education. This taking spending away from the university system.
Yeah.
That's a nasty priority. in my view. I mean, how do we give our young people the opportunity to be the informed citizens that we want them to be, and to the future entrepreneurs? So there's 2 parts. One is resources for our education and the structural problems that we have, and the other one is the focus of our education, so that it recognizes that people go to work.
So what was the second one, Steve?
I want to make sure I'm capturing this correctly, so when the person has to sum this up, they can sum it up more or less.
Succinctly.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. It's not.
With examples.
Always examples. Show your work too. You have to show your work. So starting with what Susan said, building into what Steve said, we're talking about we need entrepreneurship. To have a strong, sustainable economy, that comes from training youth in entrepreneurship, not like you said, Mark, not training to be another workforce person on an assembly line.
Yeah.
Not making them a cog in a machine, but making them.
You know what, I would love to, just a simple thought that just popped in my head, is take some kids out of the university on the entrepreneur side, bring them down, have them work in Steve's business for a week, have them see what it's like to run a business, meet payroll, pay for insurance, talk to customers, then maybe go and work in an auto shop, so they get exposed to, wow, this is what it's like a business is like. This is what it takes. And maybe, you know,
what I was talking about.
and then Steve, someone like you could say, you know, here are 5 things that I'm challenged with, guys, and at the end of the week, I want you to come up with ideas and help me to solve these. So that gets them thinking. Oh, you mean Steve needs to bring in 20 new customers? All right, how per week? All right, and then as they're working with it, they're mulling it over. They're learning to be an entrepreneur. They're getting involved in the community, the business owner.
What I'm hearing is we need a stronger connection between educating the youth and the reality of the business world. Stronger connection, no matter
And
what.
that education goes way lower. You can't start at the college level.
And you mentioned universities, all right?
So a connection between education, because this is another point you guys seem to hit, and business.
Okay, the other 2 groups are done, guys. You've got a minute. I'll give
No,
you.
we're overachievers.
All right, so we've got 2 points that we can have. All I need is somebody to volunteer to say this to the group, and just we need somebody who can try to be succinct, neutral, talented, articulate.
Yeah. Somebody has experiences on down there.
Well, Frank hasn't said much.
Susan, you're the nominee. You're the nominee. She got it. Thank you all. You guys were awesome.
GrokTV.